in the South Pacific is a little-known island, one so remote that the islanders are entirely self-sufficient. It's called Anuta, and after months of preparation, we set sail from the main cluster of the Solomon Islands towards this elusive destination. It's one of the smallest inhabited islands on Earth, just half a mile in diameter. It's tiny, but with a population of 300, Anuta has one of the highest population densities on the planet, about the same as Bangladesh. Anutans have no choice but to live in harmony with nature. They've developed ways of exploiting the natural resources in their environment that can be an inspiration to all of us. This volcanic island is part of the Solomon Island archipelago, yet is so geographically remote that travel to any of the other islands is difficult. A boat may stop in as infrequently as few times a year, but the schedule varies, so islanders cannot rely on it to bring in supplies. From Honiara, the capital of the Solomon Islands, it's a 5 or 6 day sail in good conditions, which gives us time to finalize our preparations. Anthropologist Richard Feinberg is traveling with us. Dr. Feinberg is the world's expert on this island people. He knows them well and has learned their language.
I first went to Anuta in 1972 to collect data for a doctoral dissertation at the University of Chicago. I lived there for about a year. I was looking for a relatively unacculturated place, a place where people's way of life, their way of thinking, their way of relating to one another is very different from anything that we would experience in the United States, Canada, Europe.
Giving gifts to the chiefs and the clans is customary. Our presents include fish hooks, fishing line, knives, and school supplies. Only 3 groups have ever been allowed to film on the island, and we are fully aware of the heavy responsibility we bear. It's reassuring to have Dr. Feinberg with us. His knowledge and invaluable advice will guide the crew in preparing for this historic encounter.
When we get to Anuta, chances are there will be 1 or more canoes coming out to the ship. It may also be that there are a number of people who swim out to the ship. And we will probably have some sort of formal greeting ceremony with the 2 chiefs. They will be seated on a ceremonial mat, and we will be asked to crawl on our hands and knees up to where the 2 chiefs are sitting. We then press our nose to the knee of the senior chief, one at a time. The chief will probably take his hand then and put it underneath your chin and lift your face so that it's even with his, and then you press your nose to the chief's nose. The chief will lift your head out of a sense of noblesse oblige.
Well, you're almost there. Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
On the morning of our 6th day at sea, there she was, magnificent, like a mirage floating above an endless ocean. Anuta.
There's a canoe approaching. Is Rick awake?
Yes.
Okay.
So should I go down here?
Sure.
When I saw the canoe come out, it just felt like a very familiar scene, something that I've seen dozens of times in different contexts. My first question was, who is in the canoe, and is it somebody I know? The last time I had seen Joseph was probably in 2000. So I didn't immediately recognize him, but I thought he might be the one coming out because his job, in part, is to greet people who come to the island.
Hey, welcome on board. Welcome on board.
In the movie?
Yeah.
I yelled down his Newton name, and he yelled back up at me, yes, and climbed aboard, and we hugged for about 5 minutes.
Ah!
We're rowed ashore in one of their traditional canoes. Some of the villagers give us their traditional welcome.
The people who are not part of the Western world, who are living in the present time, are not living fossils. They're not representatives of what people were like centuries ago, and we're not stepping back in time. They're very much part of today's world, but they're a different part from what most people with access to televisions have the opportunity to observe. They have children who go to school. They do recognize the value of money. They do recognize the value of modern medicine. They're concerned with travel and adventure and many of the same kinds of things that people in our part of the world are concerned about.
Joseph told me that there are probably 300 people.
The population is a serious issue here.
Yeah.
When I was first on Anuta, there were only about 150 people living on the island. So in 2 generations, the population has doubled.
Which is a lot for, a small island like this.
That's
with
right,
limited
yes.
resources.
And even in 2000, when I was here, people were not complaining about the resources, but it was just getting crowded to the point where people were a bit concerned about their privacy, which I found a little odd because privacy is much less of an issue in a place like this than it is in Canada or the US. But even people here were thinking that the place was getting too crowded. I am delighted to be here. I have only been here once in the past decade. It's a bit of a shock to come here and realize that I don't know most of these people because the children were born after the last time I was here, and people's names change periodically. When they get married, they change their name. So it takes me a few minutes to figure out just who a person is. With Samoa. Hey! Father John. I knew him first as a child. I was very touched at seeing the way that he's matured into a thoughtful, responsible leader of the community. Yeah?
We approached the chiefs with some trepidation. Back in 1972, when Dr. Feinberg first visited the island, the senior chief took him under his wing. Not only did he teach him all about the island's unique culture, but he also made him his brother.
My first feeling was that my brother had aged a great deal since the last time I saw him. But he's just as sharp and thoughtful, just as much of a forceful presence as ever. I think that the bond between the two of us on a purely personal level has just continued to grow. My Canada. Mato Taranga, the maple leaf. When Christmas? If you are the oldest son of the current chief, you have a pretty good chance of becoming the next chief. If you're in a different line, if you can't trace your ancestry or your parentage directly to a chief, then you are not going to be a chief. In terms of the social structure, there is really a surprising amount that has remained almost completely intact. They have a lot of social support. The idea of somebody being alone and neglected is almost unthinkable on Anuta, whereas it's all too common in our part of the world. So in that sense, perhaps yes, Anutans may be happier than we are.
Joseph, an Anutan who has lived in the city and speaks English, will be our guide throughout our stay. Members of the crew will be able to get to know the island and the warmth of the islanders.
Okay, we're going to the welcome banquet. The whole crew is invited onto the island. There will be traditional singing, there'll be ceremonial speeches, and then a banquet they've prepared for us. We'll obviously follow Joseph's instructions on what to do, but you'll see it's a very nice village, very well organized. Try to really make the most of the occasion because it's a privilege for all of us to experience something like this.
Anutans share a common value based on cooperation, sharing, and compassion for others. This philosophy, called Aropa, is a basic principle for Anutans. Here, traditions still play an important role, and they are handed down from generation to generation.
I was skeptical. Is this a real tradition? Or are we just being made fools of by a bunch of people deliberately faking it? It quickly became apparent that that wasn't the case.
Happiness is a major value for Anutans. If you ask them why they do things in a particular way, why they perform certain customs, there are two stock answers that they give. One is because it's the ancient custom of our island. The other is to make us happy.
It was a wonderful surprise. We all had a great time. We never expected such a warm welcome.
I loved it. Anuta was terrific. They really made us feel welcome. And they were really considerate, really nice. I don't think there's anything phony about it at all. I think it's a good example to follow.
Following an age-old tradition, the 300 islanders came to greet us, one by one. This close contact greeting, called piquita, is a kind of nose kiss that allows you to penetrate the other person's bubble. Though unable to communicate with words, we felt a human warmth that went straight to our hearts.
Indescribable.
It's very moving.
An energy from your people that is very hard to describe with words.
No problem.
It just was a very intense feeling.
And we are not looking for difference, but we are looking for unity.
Yes, yes.
Unity. Only the baby face.
C'est très difficile de mettre des mots.
It's hard to put into words because it's so moving,
Très émotif, je suis encore
intensely emotional.
bouleversé. Je pense que
I'm still caught up in it. I think the best word,
dès qu'on a commencé à s'avancer dans
when
le
we
chant,
approached,
puis qu'on a commencé à
as soon as they started to sing,
il y avait vraiment
there was really,
que toutes les barrières,
it was as
etc.,
if
sont
all
parties
barriers fell
de
away,
l'expérience.
and there was just this experience.
Je me suis dit,
And I said to myself, just let it go and take it all in.
et je me suis mis à pleurer.
And I started to cry.
Ça fait je sais pas combien de temps qu'on dit qu'on est privilégié.
I don't know how many times we've heard that it's a privilege to be here,
Je me suis vraiment,
but I truly feel privileged.
vraiment.
Truly.
C'est-
C'est vrai que j'aime bien ce
It's true, I like this way of greeting. You fully get who the person is. You're in contact with both the physical being and the psychic entity.
Mais en même temps, ça
But at the same time, they're very respectful.
spirituel.
Nice to see you.
The arrival of the church occurred not too long after a pretty devastating famine. And when something like that happens, people start to question the efficacy of the old religion. The church preaches love and support. Love thy neighbor as thyself. And Anutans were able to look at their own traditional value of Aropa, and they could say, in essence, we were Christians before the church appeared.
The chief invited us to his leaf house and agreed to speak of the past, about the time not so long ago when life here was very different.
Koto tukutukunga ne lalei pe ne kovi it penwane ke manatu.
Yes, they certainly did. In the old days, when strangers came to the island, we would kill them.
A good thing for us.
Yes.
The community here has a great relationship with nature. You know, you can find your food, your house, everything come from nature. Didn't you see any changes over time? Is there less fish, less bird? Is it much harder than before?
It seems to me that there are more fish than there used to be. But on the other hand, there are fewer birds than before.
Ko te pāua ne ka langa I te watia I mua rake watia ne pai te onge. Pakapea mo te watia te rotu koitue au ki te penua nei. Kai kaumana tūpoki ki rake watia I anga o nei.
There have been famines in the past, but things are better now. I remember one famine when people had to eat dirt to survive. But now that the church has come here, there are fewer famines. Our current God protects us better than the old one did.
It's a very small island, and there's more and more people. Is he anxious about that?
The population of the island is increasing, but we don't worry about it. We have to accept and love all those who wish to come here.
What is the importance of nature for human?
The way I look at it, The purpose of nature is to sustain life. Nature provides all our daily necessities, but it also gives us whatever we need to defend ourselves against her rages.
Well, thanks him very much, and I hope that he will have a long, long life.
He already has.
We spent time, lots of time, with islanders who quickly became friends. They asked us to tell them who we were, what we're doing, and they did the same. In a world where barriers between individuals seem non-existent, perhaps because of Aropa, the life principle based on respect and compassion. On Anuta, hunting means only one thing. Catching birds is an ancient practice which takes place at night at the top of a cliff where terns and other seabirds nest.
Every hunter has his own way of calling birds. The idea is to try to attract them here, so they'll fly right over our heads. They have long poles with nets at the end. They try to catch them and fly.
I think they're quite conscious of their relationship with the environment. There isn't any point in continuing to catch fish or hunt birds if they have as much as they can use. But they also know that the supply is limited, and if they overfish or if they overhunt, that they can damage the supply in the long run, and it'll be a problem.
Fishing is the main activity on Anuta, and their survival depends on it. Anutans are remarkable swimmers, and their thorough knowledge of the coral reefs that encircle the island is impressive.
Anuta is very remote, probably about as remote as any place you can find on Earth, and they are pretty much self-sufficient. In some ways, that self-sufficiency is a little bit of an illusion, because they catch fish with metal fish hooks and monofilament fishing line. They use waterproof flashlights to hunt fish and collect shellfish at night. When they go to work in the garden, they use metal knives and axes. So it's not completely cut off in that sense. Food is incredibly important to the Anutans. Food is connected with the idea of life. We think of somebody dying when the person stops breathing, when the heart stops beating. The Anutans, at least traditionally, regarded the point of death as coming when the person could no longer eat.
Anutans use a variety of fishing techniques, depending on fluctuations in temperature, wave strength, and tides. These techniques were developed to ensure a steady food supply, no matter what the weather and environmental conditions. Here, they eat anything, as long as they limit the catch to the needs of the community.
If the population grows too fast, the results could very well be disastrous. There has to be some way of controlling the resident population. Somehow, the population has to be kept in balance with what the environment has to provide.
Farming is vital for Anutans. At the top of the island, each extended family has a garden that provides the food needed to feed its members. They mainly grow manioc, taro, and some fruit such as bananas and papaya. Crop rotation keeps the soil in good condition. To ward against famine and natural disaster, Anutans store a paste made of manioc or taro, which ferments in the ground. Called ma, this food can stay buried for several years before being eaten. Anutans know the value of money, but they don't use it in their daily lives. However, they have set up a student association so that young people can go to school off-island.
I live here and then I go over to Honiara. I go school in the vocational school in Aftara. It's a technical school. I pick up a course as a mechanic, and then, I finished, and then I work in Honiara. It's about 9 years. I came back because I went to look after my parents, and then, because they're getting old, so I think it's a big responsibility for me because I'm their kid, so when I become a man, I have to look after them as they look after me when I was a kid. Life here is very different compared to town, to Honiara. Honiara is so much noisy, sometimes you don't know what will happen to you. You don't know, there are lots of people and you don't know what they're in their mind, whether you are safe, really safe or not. But here, you feel safe because you know everybody. Here you understand all the people, you receive everything free. You don't have to pay for your food, you just work for it. And you go anywhere you like without paying your transport and something like that.
The island's supply of large trees is limited. When a tree is felled to make a canoe, it becomes a full member of the extended family.
So, Joseph, that was his canoe, right?
Yes, this canoe.
That's the oldest canoe?
That's the oldest canoe.
When was it built?
Late 18th, I think. They only use stone axes and also fire. Made the fire and burned the old.
Okay. So that means that you took good care of it because,
Yes.
it's...
We treat the canoe as human being too, especially. Because that is the only way for us to go as far as Fatutaka by canoe.
So this canoe was made from one single tree, right?
Yes.
This is over a century old, and it's still used for inter-island voyaging. I've never come across any place where canoes are kept this long or where people put this much effort into taking care of them.
This is the only way for us to get fish from the sea.
If a canoe is damaged to the point where it can't be repaired, they hold a funeral for the canoe. very much like the funeral that they would hold for a deceased relative.
The amazing thing is that they use the island as an orientation point. They'll use the trees at the top of the mountain to find their approximate position out at sea. Then, one person jumps into the water to locate the reef exactly. Their fishing technique is very simple. They use fishing lines and hooks. And for bait, they mainly use pieces of octopus or squid. Simple, but so effective. We're now directly over the reef. You can see the bottom, and they really make it look easy. When you see the map they've drawn of the coral reef, you realize that this little island includes an area that's underwater. So for them, the island is not as small as it looks to us. It's surrounded by coral reef that they know very well, and the size of the island extends to encompass all of that.
Anutans have mentally charted all the coral reefs and fishing zones in order to manage them sustainably. This vital knowledge, passed down through the generations, is at the heart of their survival.
For us, it's very important that we manage how we catch fish. You see here, I think sometimes we put boundaries. Nobody can fish in it. And then it's about a year or 1.5, and then you can go back and harvest. They open it up, and everybody can go. Fish is bigger, and we have enough.
It's amazing to see how fast we can move under sail. It's impressive.
Their isolation and enforced self-governance led naturally to sustainable development practices, essential to the survival of all the inhabitants of this ecosystem. It's our last day on Anuta. A certain sadness overtakes the crew. We've discovered far more than a fine example of balanced natural resource use. We will soon be taking leave of friends with whom we have shared openly, unreservedly. The Anutans insisted that the whole crew attend the farewell ceremony, a grand traditional banquet which will proclaim our status as new residents of the island.
I think everyone was impressed at how warm and welcoming they were. It's not always the case on ships, but we proved we're a good team. Interested, curious, we were willing to try anything they offered us. Eager, in fact.
The farewell ceremony was pretty intense, I'd say powerful. Something we'll remember for the rest of our lives. We were a bit worried at first because we didn't know what to expect. But they are an incredibly welcoming people, very open, and it's clear they love their island.
Dressed in traditional garb, we start the farewell ceremony by a ceremonial tour of the entire island for a detailed look at our new home, bequeathed to those who have understood and accepted the unique way of life on Anuta.
The last day on Anuta was a real privilege. We were escorted by the whole village on a ceremonial walk around the island. As if the act of leaving footprints in the sand would give us a deeper insight into what the island was all about. They wanted us to soak it all in one last time.
Our imprint will remain on the island and in the hearts of the islanders. Through their generosity, openness, and their traditions, they've taught us almost forgotten principles about the relationship of humans with the natural world. But above and beyond a harmonious relationship with the environment, we've seen and learned a great deal about basic human nature.
In some ways, they don't have a lot of choice. They can't snap their fingers and become people of New York or Chicago. That's not going to happen, and they know it. On the other hand, they probably wouldn't really want to transform their island into a mini New York or a mini Chicago. They are making conscious choices. Their choices are not infinite. They know that they're constrained, but they also have made a decision that custom is important to them, and they want to try to hang on to it as much as they possibly can.
We prepared gifts for the extended families, for the children, and for the little island school. A length of fishing line, fish hooks, knives, everyday items that may seem ordinary to us, but that are far more valuable here. In keeping with tradition, we also visited each of the families and ate with them, very much in the spirit of Aropa, where everyone is welcomed and treated as an equal. At the end of the parting feast, everyone joined in the dance. It was a sort of mass revel in which joy and laughter are part of an emotional process that leads up to the lamentation. Traditional belief holds that gathering to weep for loved ones in this way lets people release the pain and sorrow of parting.
There's always a feeling that this could be my last time. It's so hard to get to that you never know if you're going to be able to come back. And because of all of that, it's always an overwhelming emotional experience to arrive and then again to leave.
We came to learn about their way of living in harmony with nature. But we're leaving with far more, with a deep sense of principle and values, which we know not how or why have renewed our faith in life. We're heading for Komodo Island in Indonesia. Komodo is an island of mystery, almost mythical, because of its famous residents, the Komodo dragons, the largest lizard on the planet. They can grow 3 meters long, and the average adult weighs around 75 kilograms. But one hulking fellow tipped the scales at more than 166 kilograms, over 356 pounds. Enough to send chills up your spine when you know what these fearsome predators can do. Komodo is one of the 17,000 islands, large and small, that make up Indonesia. Around 2,000 people live here in wary proximity to one of the most ferocious carnivores on the planet. The rugged island terrain consists of broad mountain valleys, savanna, and arid plains, characteristic Komodo dragon habitat. Surprisingly, scientists didn't officially discover the species until 1910, though we know that they've shared their island with humans for many hundreds of years. The Komodo dragon is part of the varanid family. It's a carnivore, an ambush hunter, rapidly charging its prey without warning. It can reach a speed of 20 kilometers an hour over short distances when attacking, but it is also a carrion eater, ready to chow down on almost any animal carcass. It's even been seen rooting through cemeteries, forcing villagers to move graves to protected areas. The Komodo dragon is perfectly adapted to its environment and can live to the age of 50. It's one of the rare vertebrates that can reproduce by parthenogenesis. Females are able to lay viable eggs without male fertilization. The species is endemic to Indonesia and is found mainly on Komodo, Rinca, and Flores Islands. Komodo dragons are designated vulnerable on the list of endangered species. The population is estimated at between 4,000 and 5,000. However, recent surveys recording an abnormally low number of reproductive females have alarmed the scientific community. In 1980, a national park was created for their protection. Park authorities are mandated to protect the territory essential for their survival, as well as ensuring that the Komodo dragons and their human neighbors can safely share the island. Biologists monitor the Komodo dragon populations throughout the vast Indonesian territory. Ahmad and Denny work for a local NGO, and over the years, they've become experts in all things Komodo dragon.
Hey, welcome on board.
Thank you.
Sedna 4 will serve as base camp for the next population census to take place on a number of islands in the sector.
Okay, so here we are, the famous Komodo Island, Rinca. Where do you work mainly?
We have 10 sites. So we work in Komodo Island, Rinca Island, Nusa Kode Island, and also Gilimotang Island. Basically what we're doing is this is a collaboration project between the national park and our organization.
How many people work with your team?
Normally we work 7 people involved.
In this trip, we have 2 visitors from the American Zoo. So one from Los Angeles Zoo, then the other one is from Knoxville Zoo. So because our project is also funded by some zoos in America, so they come here, help us, and also checking to see the...
And then see the... they also learn how to maintain the population here.
So what do we do this morning?
We will start to set up camera trap here.
The main idea is to know whether the dragon present in this area or not.
Let's go then.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
The census covers a huge territory, and the biologists are working with limited means. A number of American specialists have come to lend a hand to their local colleagues. The scientists hope to learn more about this still little understood species.
This place is unique. Every time I wake up in the morning and I walk outside, I see something that I've either never seen before or only seen on TV, you know, only read about. It's truly like waking up in Jurassic Park.
Ahmad and Denny's work so hard. Their work ethic is unparalleled, and I feel like they have a really good understanding of what to do to fully understand Komodo dragons.
That's the first site?
Yeah, this is our first site.
Label?
You use goat all the time, or?
Always goat, because that's the best.
Goat smells really bad, and
Yeah.
I think it's the best bait for attracting the dragon.
Is there some problem with, you know, people and livestock like goat?
Yeah, sometimes the dragon kill goat that belong to villagers because, you know, the deer is the main prey for dragon, and goat is just almost the same with the deer. So we're taking the trial shot just to make the frame the bait is on frame.
Smile. So you use that for the smell around?
Yeah, yes, it's to attract the dragon. The dragon have very good sense of smells. They could smell for up to 1 kilometer. They have an organ called organ Jacobson, so they don't use the nose like us. By the end of the tongue, the chemical receptor, and they will transfer the chemical they take from the air to the organs.
Oh yeah.
It's to make sure it's cover all the area.
On Komodo Island, the favorite prey are deer, goats, and water buffalo. But dragons are not picky eaters. They'll eat anything they can sink their teeth into, living or dead. They like to hide and wait for their prey near water, ready to charge the moment an animal lowers its guard.
On the exterior, they seem like this otherworldly, anachronistic creature that still exists on this earth. There was one situation where a dragon had tried to kill a water buffalo, had been unsuccessful, and the buffalo hit it, with its head, threw it into the air. Dragon landed and didn't move for 3 days, and then finally, after 3 days, picked itself up and walked away. So just kind of to say that they're indestructible in a way. I mean, you saw the scars on that individual, and they fight and they tear each other up. They drink disgusting brackish water that's probably tainted with all kinds of things, and yet they still persist. Overall, they're strong. I mean, they can keep going.
The biologists have set up a number of motion detector cameras all over the area. The smell of decomposing goat meat attracts the dragons within camera range, and their visit is documented.
Ooh. No doubt about the smell.
43 picture.
Oh. So
this is last one when we arrived. This is already dark.
Pig?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Boar. It's quite a lot here.
Yeah.
That data is taken, and we get an idea what the density of the dragon population is. Ultimately, if we do this every year, we can see if the population is declining or increasing.
Okay, we will become two groups. One group will be responsible on the left-hand side. To take 3 camera traps, and then the other side will be responsible to take 2 camera traps. Okay. Ambil itunya.
Denny leads the way. We have to keep our eyes open because dragons are experts at camouflage.
Oh, there's a dragon over there.
Oh yeah.
Can you see it? I would say it's probably size for female. It might be one of the dragons which is trapped on the camera trap.
Yeah.
Danny, the tail still looks fat, so she probably didn't lay this year, huh?
Okay.
So this is a female. We think it's a female. She's not very big. In fact, she's probably about my height. It's amazing to see how these animals just disappear in the landscape. That's the greatest danger, mistaking one for a tree trunk or a piece of dead wood. You don't want that to happen.
Based on her body condition, she's probably hasn't laid eggs this year. She's still got a lot of fat stored in her tail. She looks very healthy. Oftentimes you're walking down the trail and you're not paying close attention, and next thing you know, you're a couple meters away from a dragon. Beautiful animal. Great to see.
When hungry, dragons will go for any animal around, including their own young.
There is kind of like shift between adult activity and hatchling activity. So in the morning, early in the morning, when the adult one active, all the baby will be on the tree just to avoid cannibalism. And then once the big dragon just slug just because too hot, and then they can go to the ground. That's what we found so far from radio tracking study. Sometimes I would say female also, if the male can have opportunity, they will kill the female. That's right. That's happened in the zoo also. Yeah.
Is there something that they don't eat?
Everything that only vegetables. Everything. They are top carnivore here.
The Indonesian government and the Indonesian National Park Service protect the dragons very well. It's the poaching, actually, of the prey items, the deer, the Sunda deer. You know, they're a source of food, and without the deer, the Komodos would struggle.
Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Any nice picture?
We are going to.
Okay,
we
great.
just started downloading the images.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. Have a seat.
Wow.
It's a big one.
That's a big one. Very big.
It's healthy.
That's big.
Big. Healthy as well.
Yes.
So this camera is record not only dragon but any animals that any movement.
Too big.
Chicken.
Chicken.
Jungle fowl.
Can you do some photo ID with dragon to recognize them? I suppose when they have big scar, but it's too difficult.
It's very difficult. You know, there are some researchers use the camera to trying to identify how many dragon individual. They trying to use the macro capture method.
Yeah.
Because I think it's only could be done to animal that can be distinguished by the images. Pattern.
Like
for example, tiger,
Yes.
and also the rhino.
It's hard to determine the exact number of Komodo dragons scattered over different parts of the island. The motion detector cameras will tell the scientists if there are Komodo dragons in a particular area, but the technique doesn't provide any specific information on individuals. If biologists want to follow the development of specific Komodo dragons over time, they have to capture them. A number of dragons have small transmitters implanted under the skin that identify and differentiate them. The catalog of Komodo dragons is a vital source of information on the biology of the species. But in order to access this information, you have to capture individuals.
Thank you.
The whole team meets at the entrance to Komodo National Park. For us, it's a big day. Capturing and handling this dreaded and powerful animal is a real challenge. Everyone is assembled and ready for action. The modular cages will be carried into the heart of dragon habitat. The biologists are confident they'll be able to catch one of the animals tagged in previous captures.
So these are the cages used to trap the Komodo dragons. They have just arrived from the village, so we'll take them up to the site. We'll set out bait, and let's hope we manage to trap one.
Recapturing dragons is the only way to monitor the development of individual animals. And population monitoring allows biologists to track the animal's health over time and observe the growth of the Komodo dragons in ideal conditions. The national park is the last peaceful haven for this endangered species. The team will be assisted by staff from the national park. These park wardens have enormous experience in dragon territory and know how to react in the event of an attack. But no weapons. They defend us using only sturdy forked sticks to push the dragons away.
One trap will be set up here. Yeah.
Okay.
Coming. I want to protect the cameraman and then everybody that goes there.
We are setting the cages up here. There are chunks of goat meat set out, and a male has already picked up the scent and is trying to approach. The guards are trying to control him, so it should not be too hard to trap one.
It takes several men to manage this large, hungry male. The smell of the goat meat excites the animal, but the park wardens keep things under control.
There are 3 bait that we put. One is in the front, the other one in the middle part, and the other one is tied to the string to the mechanical, so it's activated. So when the dragon came, they will grab the first one, the second one, and when he grabs the third one, he can lift the traps and wait the dragon.
Okay.
Everything's ready. The signal's being given. Now the wardens can get out of the way of the increasingly famished dragon.
We've got to be careful not to get bitten because they charge very quickly. It's amazing. They rarely attack humans, but when they do, it's a serious matter. What's the plan? We will open the door.
We will noose first, open one of the window here, and then pull one by one from the tail, and then hind leg, and then tie the hind leg. After that, pull again, tie the front leg, and then try to measure this dragon. Okay.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Go.
The animal's strength is tremendous. It's crucial that his powerful feet not touch the ground. He could knock over anyone trying to pin him down if he gets his feet under him.
Okay, you can sit there.
Sit there.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
good. A little bit more. Okay, Ahmad.
They tape the animal's jaws shut to prevent him from using this fearsome weapon.
Karung. Okay, sidik lepas.
Sidik lepas. Now we're gonna check the dragon whether it's been tagged or not. So we usually put the tag on the right hind leg. So you're gonna check it with this thing. Yep. Yeah, so it's already.
Okay.
There's already ID. And I'm gonna check. So can help. Yeah. 000 643 58BA. So we're gonna check the record. Whether it's from this island or from other islands, just make sure. Yeah. The first time we catch this animal is on 2004, so it's 10 years ago. Okay?
What is the weight or the length? Total length, total body length?
Only 10 kilograms.
10 kilograms.
Wow.
It's still.
No, I would say this is 60 kilograms. We'll see later. Yeah. We will
and
see.
The total length only 1.8 meters.
We have to measure the snout vent length, because if the total length is important, but just because the dragon is not regenerate their tail, so this is the important one.
Can you
hold here? Okay, thank you, Zhang. 133.5. Total body length 2.66. 2.66. Pull him. Up. Up.
Okay, one little moment.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. It's more than 10 kilos, that's for sure.
It's 60.
60. Yeah.
This is a male because usually the female is never weighed more than 40 kilograms and never had long more than 2.4. So 2.4 is the maximum for female. We never found female more than 2.4. So we can tell for sure this is a male.
And what is the sex ratio male-female in the wild?
Scientists believe that the ratio is 1 female for 3 males, but we still want to find out whether it's true or not.
How long can they live?
For the male, they could live up to 40 years, but when we're trying to estimate the age, some a very healthy animal, the male one, can live up to 60. But mostly they live 40 years old, while the females live shorter than the males. Probably they only live for 30 years. This pen is telling us that the dragons already been measured. So when the dragons come to the trap again, so we didn't have to
let them go.
Just let them go.
First, we untied the legs, but people who handle the legs make sure his leg doesn't touch the ground, because once he touches the ground, he will be very strong and angry.
Guys, 1, 2, 3. He's angry.
He's angry, eh? The strength of these animals is incredible. Wow. He's not happy there.
This Komodo dragon can now return to the peaceful forest of the park. He's lucky to live in a protected area. Here, hunting is banned. This allows his prey to reproduce and be present in large numbers. When food is abundant, the dragons rarely fight each other. But that's not always the case on other islands where there is less prey and where cannibalism has been observed. Komodo dragons do not live solely in protected parks where human activity is strictly regulated. In some areas, dragons and villagers have to share space, and it isn't always easy.
What is the relationship between the villagers and the Komodo dragons?
There is a mythology. The Komodo dragons actually family with the villagers.
And also when a dragon trying to came into the village, for example, when they smells food, and the people didn't try to harm the dragon, they just push the dragon away.
We stopped at one of the small, isolated villages where people have to interact with Komodo dragons. Age-old myths underlie these shared living arrangements.
Nice to meet you. John.
John, where come from? Canada.
When I was a little girl, my parents told me a story of a woman who gave birth to twins, one a human, the other a dragon. The dragon ran into the forest. Since that time, we have a blood tie with the dragons, a tie so strong that we are forbidden to kill them. We are not allowed to harm them in any way. The dragons are actually humans with tails.
These widespread reliefs provide a level of protection for the dragons.
Dragons often attack cats or goats. One came right into my kitchen and ate my cat.
Kucing. Pokoknya binatang apa saja dia lihat itu dari atas tuh.
Traditionally, all families kept goats. Not anymore, though, because they'll just get eaten by dragons.
Tapi habis.
This is where the dragons live. It's their home. And that's just fine because tourists come here to see them. It's fine with me if they attack cats, chickens, and goats, but not our children.
Goats, cats, dogs, and even chickens regularly fall victim to dragons who prowl the village. Villagers continue to hold the mythical animal in high respect, despite horrifying and sometimes deadly encounters.
It was a Friday. The children were all making their way home after a day at the beach. My son was sitting on the stairs. All of a sudden, a dragon leapt on his legs and threw him to the ground. I heard screams and ran to try to rescue him. When I got outside, there was blood everywhere. His belly had been ripped open.
When I got there, I screamed, "My son is dead." I couldn't believe my eyes. I felt his last breath, and I fainted. When I woke up, my child's body looked like the carcass of a dead animal. I'm still grieving. The wound is still there. It's still hard for me to talk about.
Tidak usah takut.
Nenek kita dengar ada kejadian buruk menimpa nenek dengan buaya. Ya, bisa diceritakan apa yang terjadi, Nenek?
I was alone walking in the forest. A dragon came up behind me and bit down on my hand. I had a knife, but I didn't use it. I didn't want to hurt it. He's a member of my family. I started kicking him to defend myself. Eventually, some people from the village came to help me. They got me to the hospital. I stayed there for a week.
Is it still very painful today?
The nerves were damaged. You can see, this is where he grabbed me. When I move my hand, it's still painful. But I have to keep working to survive.
Komodo dragons are natural predators, designed to kill their prey. That's why they're at the top of the food chain. They've been on the island much longer than humans have. They lived in ecological balance with the other species in their ecosystem before their territory was occupied. For them, hunting for food is essential for their survival. It's also the role they play in nature, their vital function within the great chain of life. When hungry, Komodo dragons hunt. With no concept of right and wrong, they don't distinguish between a goat, a deer, or a child.
The dragon was 3.5 meters long. The next week, guards came and took him to another island. I can't blame the dragon. It was my son's destiny. That's all there is to it.
Every Friday I think about it. I pray that my son is happy where he is.
Destiny? Well, maybe. When individual lives are ruled by a society's values and beliefs. In the past, goats were sacrificed as offerings to satisfy the appetite of the predators and ward off attacks. But animal protection groups opposed the practice, declaring it cruel and immoral. So the children have learned to be wary of the Komodo dragons, who share their village, their playgrounds, their daily lives. But an ambush can happen anytime. Yet here, it's all put down to destiny. Villagers built a wall to protect the schoolyard. But the school is at the far end of the village, near the mountain, where the dragons lurk. Here, spiritual values, beliefs, and mythology do more to safeguard this endangered species than the concepts of protection and nature conservation.
Did you have any incident yourself? Were you bitten by a dragon before?
For this research, we catch almost 1,000 individual dragon, and one dragon can there several times, so it's almost more than 2,000 captures, and there's no accident. That is something that we're always proud of.
Yes, of course.
I think as long as we respect wild animal as wild animal, it won't become a big problem. So we can learn how to catch the dragon, safe for the dragon, and then also safe for researcher also.
But in reality, there's no safety for this endangered species.
I would say their biggest threat would be any kind of loss of interest. You know, this park is good and it's stable right now, but I would say if people tend to stop being interested for whatever reason, I worry that they may not protect them as well as they should. They may not be as vigilant in protecting them, and that could be a problem.
Like so many species that are threatened or endangered, it's habitat destruction. With the introduction of invasive species comes also disease. And you're talking about a population of animals here that's probably less than 5,000 individuals. That's not too many animals. So if a disease, was introduced to the islands, they could quickly be wiped out.
Despite the many threats to its precarious existence, no one wants to see this extraordinary carnivore disappear. The Komodo dragon represents much more than a formidable predator within an ecosystem. Here, it's considered a full member of the family of living beings. Only time will tell if these traditions can spare the largest dragon on the planet from extinction. We set sail for Lamalera, a small fishing village in Indonesia. Lamalera is on a mountainous volcanic island where the poor soil is not suitable for farming. Villagers depend for survival on a centuries-old hunting tradition, whaling. And their main target isn't just any whale. They hunt the sperm whale, the world's largest carnivore that can grow to a length of 20 meters and weigh up to 55 tons. Lamalera is on the island of Limbato, one of the 17,000 islands that make up Indonesia. The earliest written record of this whale hunt dates back to 1643, when Portuguese explorers described it as heroic. People in Lamalera have always subsisted on what the ocean could provide. But with no nearby reefs or shallows harboring fish colonies, villagers must sail far from shore to cast their nets in the deep ocean. For centuries, fishermen rowed out to sea in their frail craft, hauling in anything that could feed the community. But these meager catches were not enough to ensure the village's long-term survival. So they developed a whaling technique using handmade harpoons. But in the early 2000s, a sophisticated new piece of fishing gear was added to the tackle box, the outboard motor. There are now about 30 outboards, and they've completely transformed what villagers still call traditional fishing. Sharks, rays, and dolphins are choice targets, and much easier to catch with motorcraft. While they still use traditional boats to hunt the sperm whale, motorcraft help in various ways.
We depend on sperm whales. We do catch dolphins and rays, but without the sperm whale, the community could not survive. That's why we all pray that the whales will come back year after year.
Whales are vital for the inhabitants of Lamalera. Without them, we die of starvation.
Long classified as traditional subsistence activities, hunting and fishing in Lamalera are not subject to any quotas or bans on harvesting for the protection of endangered species. This exception to international law has not been reviewed since the hunters began using outboards. Villagers still consider their practices as ancestral activities essential to their survival. Whaling season begins in May. The whole village gathers to pray and commemorate the souls of those lost at sea while working at this dangerous occupation.
At the beginning of every hunting season, the first formal event is a get-together we call the beach meeting. We talk about various issues concerning the hunts to come. We might, for example, spend time discussing which team will harpoon first, second, and so on. We have to agree on that, or it will be a free-for-all. Then later that night, we make an offering of candles and flowers to the memory of those lost at sea. They are our heroes. May 1st is the day of the first whale hunt.
Musim resmi turun ke laut. Pada saat itu juga setelah misa,
The day begins with a blessing of the boats
ada
and the
upacara
men.
pemberkatan laut. Kemudian pada tanggal
Then all the
2,
fishermen
semua
go out to
perahu yang
sea
sudah siap,
to do their
oke, melaut
job.
seperti biasa.
Traditional boats called tena used to be propelled by oar or sail. But nowadays, the large craft are towed far out to sea where the whales can be found.
There's a ban on hunting blue whales, but we're allowed to catch sperm whales and orca. We are dependent on waves and plankton. If plankton is abundant and the waves head towards us, then the whales will come to us. If the waves go out to sea, the whales won't come.
The harpooner stands on a small platform in the bow. He has to leap into the air to plant his harpoon in the animal's flesh. It's an art, and one with considerable risk. It's a difficult and dangerous job, and results in many casualties.
I've been hunting whales my whole life. I started when I finished grade school, and I stopped 3 months ago, when I lost my leg.
Some lose their lives. Others bear the scars of a battle lost in the name of tradition.
During a hunt, there was a lot of confusion on the boat, and I ended up in the wrong place. I was standing with my leg in among the ropes when the harpoon caught in the whale and the cable started to reel out and I was thrown into the sea. When the cable between the whale and the boat tightened, it cut off my leg. It was a big whale, but we lost it.
Whether the whale is large or small, it all depends on the harpooner.
The harpooner is the most important person on the team. If you don't have a good harpooner, there's no point in going to sea. Even with a team of 8, 9, or 10 men, you have to have a good harpooner. A real harpooner has to be able to stand straight up at the front of the boat without getting nervous or feeling any fear when he sees the red eyes of the whale. A harpooner can't make a mistake. The rest of the team expects him to be successful no matter what. If there aren't many whales and I miss, I feel that I've let the others down. They rely on me. I feel an enormous sense of responsibility.
It's a lucky escape for this killer whale. The harpoon fell out, and we're unlikely to see him again anytime soon.
The most remarkable thing I remember is the time I chased down and harpooned 3 whales, all in the same day. One of the whales was at least 15 meters long. All the boats were after it. Being a harpooner is a source of pride, mainly because it's a skill handed down from father to son. My father was not a harpooner, so I'm even prouder because of that. When we spot a dolphin, we come close and reduce speed so we can follow it. But it's tricky. Dolphins are unpredictable. They zigzag all over the place. I can catch up to 10 small dolphins a week, but if they're big, probably only 5.
The recently introduced use of motorboats has changed the way they hunt and greatly increased the pressure on a variety of vulnerable species. After another day hunting at sea, it's time to divvy up the catch among the crew. In a well-established distribution system, the harpooner and the boat's owner are allotted the best pieces.
This is the harpoon guy, so he's the one first time,
How do they eat that? Is it dry in the sun or?
Bagaimana dimasaknya? Dikeringin dulu baru dimasak?
Tidak, langsung ada yang kasih kering, ada yang langsung masak. Dan puasa.
Okay. They can try it first, but it's more delicious if you just cook it right away.
Obviously, for Westerners like ourselves, these images are very hard to accept because we have an almost emotional relationship with dolphins. When we come to places like this, I think we have to set aside our opinions, our Western point of view, to be able to understand this culture, even a little. But it's not easy.
The numbers given by the harpooner are food for thought. If this one boat takes 10 dolphins a week, how many dolphins are caught every year by the Lamalera fleet's dozens of boats? And what is the impact on marine species now that motorboats are part of the hunter's arsenal? In this corner of the world, there are no scientists to track population numbers.
Don't you think you're hunting too many dolphins?
No, not at all. There will always be dolphins.
Fishermen believe that their God knows what's good for them and would not put all these animals in their path if it wasn't right. Many boys aspire to the most prestigious job around. For generations, harpooners have commanded great respect here in the village because they contribute to feeding the whole community. For these youngsters, the dream of confronting a big sperm whale out at sea is very real.
This is a day for celebration because they've just caught a young sperm whale. It's a young male. You can tell from the teeth. It's a male. Hard to tell the exact age, but he's still fairly small. It's probably easier for them to catch the smaller ones. The main harpooner thrust the first harpoon into the whale. That harpoon is on a rope, and the rope is attached to a small wooden boat, which the whale now has to pull. Obviously, the idea is to exhaust the whale. Once the animal slows down, they'll come in closer and shoot more and more harpoons into it, attached to other boats. So by increasing the amount of drag on the animal and tiring it out, they'll eventually be able to deliver the death blow. It's an ancient technique used by very few people anywhere in the world. It's been effective for who knows how many years, so they see no reason to change it.
We heard it was a difficult hunt. Is that so?
Yeah.
Yes. It was very tough. 2 of the 11 boats tipped. It took us an hour and a half to get the boats back in position. Other harpooners had to jump in to lend a hand. It was a difficult hunt. I'm a harpooner, and it's a dangerous job. So many things can go wrong. It's very risky. I could die at any moment.
Is there more risk with a bigger whale?
It's always risky, and accidents happen all the time. It doesn't matter how big the whale is. It's dangerous. We have to be really focused during a hunt. We harpooners have a rule. If we have worries at home, we do not go to sea. It's a lot safer. You don't want to take a chance.
How many whales did the village caught this year?
Sudah berapa paus yang diambil tahun ini, Pak?
Tahun ini 2013 ya?
Ya.
This year, we've caught 25.
25 ekor.
Teman-teman di desa
25? That's a lot, isn't it?
Ambilnya, Pak.
No, it's not too many. If we could catch more, we would. We need them. They're our survival. We're not going to empty the sea by catching 25 whales a year. They're a gift from God. There will always be plenty of whales.
We use every part of the whale. Nothing goes to waste. That shows just how much we need them. We have a saying here that goes, we should all have food to eat, not just our relatives, but everyone. When the pieces are cut out, The women rolled them in salt and then hanged them to dry. That way the whale meat will keep for months.
The whales are our livelihood. We depend on them. A single whale will feed the community for a month.
Half my share goes to my mother-in-law. I also give some to my neighbors and to the widows. We also traded for corn. 1 platter of corn for 3 strips of whale meat. Sometimes we also traded for bananas and manioc.
The treasure will be divided according to a precise ritual. The crew that first harpooned the whale claims the choice pieces, but the whole community benefits from this manna from the sea.
Tomorrow, the chief will come down from the village, and the head will be set aside for him. The oil will be shared among the members of the village, but the head is always reserved for the chief.
The next day, the villagers begin cutting up the sperm whale's head, which contains the precious spermaceti.
So this is the head of the sperm whale with its single blowhole, which is to the right of center. That's typical. So the blow is always at a slight angle. They will cut off the part of the head that contains the spermaceti, a very valuable oil. Sperm whales are part of Odontoceti, or toothed whales. They have only 1 blowhole, unlike baleen whales that have a double blowhole. The blowhole is off-center, and within the structure is where you find the spermaceti oil.
When the whale is alive, its internal temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, so the spermaceti is in liquid form. Originally mistakenly identified as the whale's semen, the name sperm whale is derived from spermaceti whale. But below 30 degrees, the spermaceti solidifies into a spongy wax. The sperm whale controls its internal temperature and can alter the density of the spermaceti organ to act as ballast when diving. The oil can be burned in lamps and was used to light village houses right up to 2006, when electricity reached Lamalera. At the end of the process, everything has been cut, dried, salted, and stored. All that remains of the animal are a few bits of skeleton that the tide will soon wash out to sea. Life goes back to its usual slow pace until the next whale kill. This was the 25th sperm whale killed in just the last 4 months. At a conservative estimate, we're talking about several tons of food per slaughtered whale, in addition to the dolphins, rays, sharks, swordfish, and other fish caught every day. Yet, the total population, including the surrounding area, is no more than 2,000. Every Thursday, the women of Lamalera attend a market in the neighboring village. Here they can pick up things they need that the ocean does not provide. The road linking the villages, not built until the early 2000s, affords a mobility that has begun to open up the world. Goods and commodities of all kinds can now be transported more easily, but it takes money to pay for them. While barter is still common, villagers increasingly want to sell their products for cash.
In the market, we figured that a package of whale meat like this, that contains 2 or 3 pieces, is worth about $1. So whale meat is not worth much compared to other types of fish or even some vegetables that are not very common here, like carrots. But what doesn't get sold, the woman will try to barter for something else.
Valeu. Valeu. Good.
She's traded this for a root vegetable, and she'll do the same here. It's really barter. They're trading root vegetables for pieces of whale meat.
Not so long ago, whale meat was the basis of the local economy. But access to modern equipment and the free circulation of goods have altered life on this Indonesian island. Motorboats now set drift nets that catch vast numbers of fish. With modern technology being used to scoop up ever more marine life, some environmental groups have begun to question the legitimacy of traditions, especially where endangered species are concerned.
When I look back and compare the situation now to previous years, I'd say the catch has really gone down since the late 1980s. As far as protecting species is concerned, it's a noble cause. But I firmly believe that the resource will be here for hundreds of years to come.
We've always lived off what the sea gives us, and that includes whales. Some time ago, some people came to talk to us about protecting whales. But no one on Lamalera agrees with them. What we are doing is legal. The International Court of Justice permits our traditional hunting practices. We fishermen work very hard. Sometimes we work almost 24 hours a day. We will never stop hunting the way we do, the way we've always done. Not long ago, the local government tried to make us give up hunting, but we refused because this is traditional hunting and because all of the equipment we use is made by hand. No one can stop us from doing this. It would be an insult to our ancestors.
It may be hard to accept that this can still qualify as traditional fishing, especially compared to the way things were done before outboard motors came on the scene. They chase a killer whale, but the animal is fast. Dolphins. This time the boat was able to catch up to the fleeing animal.
When we go out to sea and harpoon a dolphin, what we see is not a beautiful, intelligent animal. What we see more than anything else is an animal that, once we get it back to the village, will feed our families. We believe it's important to strike a dolphin's snout to shorten its suffering. That technique has been passed down from our ancestors.
During one maneuver, disaster strikes. The motorboat has struck the harpooner, causing a serious head injury.
John, can we go to Ulandoni because the local hospital nearby, like just in front of our boat? Oh yeah, okay.
We quickly get the injured man to the village. On the way back, another unforgettable event brings a difficult day to a close. A crew member spots a familiar shape, and the boat makes straight for this shadow on the surface. The sight of an enormous manta ray sends the hunters into a frenzy. They struggle mightily to capture the animal. Since we arrived, we've been wondering about middlemen, foreign buyers who might be reselling some products of the marine harvest. But no one was prepared to discuss it. The standard response was that what happens here is subsistence hunting and fishing, not commercial. Our rescue of the wounded harpooner may explain his sudden and surprising willingness to talk.
For us, manta rays are a better catch than dolphins. In addition to their meat, there's also their gill rakers. The gill rakers bring in a lot. We get $50 a kilo for the gill rakers. We have a buyer here on the island. He sells them to a middleman who ships them to China. For shark fins, it's different. We have another buyer who ships them overseas. We get a lot of money for them too.
We know that Chinese importers pay a great deal of money for the gill rakers.
Did you know that the manta ray gill rakers you sell for $50 a kilo go for $500 a kilo on the market?
That's a big surprise. $500 sounds like a huge amount. But for us, $50 a kilo is still a tidy sum.
The devastating effect of middlemen is well known. We've witnessed it firsthand in several countries we've visited, where locals sell products to international buyers for resale in Asia. The price for shark fins or gill rakers from rays is skyrocketing, as is demand. In China, too, tradition is trotted out as an excuse when these delicacies from the sea end up in soup. In less than 15 years, Lamalera has undergone a dramatic transformation. A road has been built, electricity has been installed, and gasoline-powered outboard motors have made things easier for fishermen. Progress has opened up markets, and some local products now make their way to China.
So it's been a good night's fishing on Lamalera. Here on the beach this morning we find many different species, swordfish, mahi-mahi, but there are also a lot of fish that are on the endangered species list. This morning we see a number of species of shark, there are dolphins, a lot of rays, and especially hammerhead sharks. Worldwide stocks of hammerhead have dropped by 98% in the last few decades because of overfishing. But here there's an exception because of traditional fishing. It may be time to ask how far we're prepared to go in respecting cultures when we're talking about endangered species. We're also beginning to feel that we're wearing out our welcome here in the village. I think they'll start urging us to ship out pretty soon. They seem to be more and more annoyed by the camera, so this may soon be the end for us on Lamalera.
In the US and in Japan, they use modern industrial fishing methods that really do endanger whales. That's not the case with us. But they want us to stop from hunting? Why don't they make them stop and leave us alone? If people think we're overfishing, they're not being fair. We go to sea to hunt in a traditional manner. We hunt and fish whatever we can find. If people are bothered by the way we do things here, that's their problem, not mine.
Our point of view usually depends on our values and our culture. It's easy to condemn, and for many of us, often our first instinct. But putting an end to the whale hunt will have major social consequences here. On the other hand, can we accept the status quo with no scientific tracking and oversight? Beyond any ideological position, one question remains fundamental and universal. How far are we prepared to go in harvesting species that are threatened with extinction?